Yeah, I didn't see this one coming, but maybe it's better. And Bar Harbor, what's going on, man? Like they're clarifying what's happening in 2024 as they're trying to restrict cruise lines. And Disney, they got a big announcement about their cruise ships and Spider-Man. Yep, the old web head. That plus a whole lot more cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I am your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. For your face on a Friday. We made it. Happy Friday, everybody. Friday the 8th, 2024. And yeah, let's just go right into the cruise news. I got to tell you about some other stuff, but let's start with the cruise news. Cruise news story number one reminds me of the classic Stephen Wright joke, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if that I'm going to remember it verbatim, but it's to the effect of I went to the movie theater and I said, how much? And they said adults $6 and kids $3.50. And I said, I'll take a boy and a girl. And it reminds me of this story because there's a conversation going on over at the Carnival Cruise Line social media sites about documentation for kids that are not your own. Now, I'm not suggesting that all of a sudden you just have some random kids that you candy vanned off the street. I'm talking about parents that are divorced. I'm talking about grandparents, aunts, and uncles that may be taking their kids on a cruise. The question was posed, do I need any extra documentation for those kids? Permission from the parents per se. In the divorce case, it might be a clarification of the custody agreement, that kind of thing. But the word coming from on high at Carnival Cruise Line is it's probably a best practice to have some sort of letter from the parent of the child that says that it's okay that the child is with you. It's also noted in that conversation by many people that are partaking in it that they've had the documentation and have never been asked for it. So it's almost like insurance, almost like travel insurance. You'll probably never have to use it, but in the one case that you do have to use it, it would be good to have it. So if you're in some sort of circumstance where people are questioning whether or not the kids that are with you are supposed to be with you, probably a 1 in a million circumstance. But if you're ever in that circumstance, you want to have that documentation. I never even thought about it. I've taken strange kids with me on cruises a lot. I'm just kidding. I've never done that. But I did, I used to have scenarios where I'd vacation with my kids and I was divorced from their mother. I never really carried like the custody agreement or anything like that. Fortunately, nothing ever happened, but maybe it could have. So I just put that out there as something that's being touted as a best practice. And just to ask you the question, have you ever traveled in circumstances with your grandkids or your nieces, nephews, children from, your previous marriage? Have you ever had any hassle? Yeah, leave a comment below. Cruise news story number two, a story that's becoming familiar. Cruise lines making decisions about cruises that are going to be in the Red Sea. We've seen a couple things happen. We've seen changes of itineraries, and then we've also seen full-on cancellations, which is a bummer. We got another full-on cancellation bummer story here. Marella Cruises is contacting their guests that are booked on Marella Discovery 2 in April of 2024, saying that, look, we're just going to cancel these cruises. Again, there's the conflict going on in the Red Sea, and a popular spot to cruise to in the Red Sea is transiting the Suez Canal. And so a lot of cruise lines are having to make this decision. So I don't know, Marella, primarily a European cruise line outside the North American cruise line. What do you think? Are you out there, over there? Have you been cancellated? Bummer, but understandable. Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number three, Bahama, Maine has clarified what they're going to do in 2024. What a lobster pot full of mess over there. It started a couple years ago where concerned citizens in Bar Harbor got a vote onto the docket saying we would like to limit the amount of cruise passengers that are allowed to visit our city in one day, limit them to 1,000 cruise passengers, and therefore effectively limiting the size of cruise ships that can go to Bar Harbor. It went through a bunch of court battles. Eventually, and recently, it was decided by a federal judge that they could put those limitations in place. And so now that they've got the green light, what are they going to do for 2024? Since there's already cruise ships that are larger than the 1,000 capacity limit. There's cruise ships already larger than that with reservations to stop in Bar Harbor in 2024. Well, the decision has been made. The limitations go into effect immediately for cruise ships making reservations after the vote, after the clarification now. So essentially, if you have a reservation from a cruise ship that has more than 1,000 passengers made for 2024 that was already on the books, they're welcome to come and dump off however many passengers they want to dump off. But if Cruise Line A calls up today and says, hey, we want to come to Bar Harbor in the future, and they're going to say, well, the cruise ship that you're wanting to bring, does it have more than 1,000 passengers, lower berths? And if you say yes, they're going to be like, sorry, you cannot come to Bar Harbor. So it starts now. So I guess Bar Harbor will be a destination for smaller cruise ships. But I would anticipate that major cruise companies may just say Bar Harbor's not a destination at all. So it's going to be interesting to see how cruise companies react. Maybe Bar Harbor becomes more like of a little boutique, niche-y type stop for smaller cruise ships. We'll have to see what happens. But the people have gotten what they've wanted. There you go. Cruise news story number 4. This is an exciting one. Disney Cruise Line saying Avengers Assemble. Avengers Assemble Marvel Day at Sea is returning in 2025. 30 heroes and villains, including my favorite Marvel hero, Spider-Man, will be on the Disney Dream for Bahamian and Western Caribbean sailings. The only Disney cruise I ever did was on Marvel Day at Sea. On the Disney Dream, I think, or was I on the Magic? I was on some old Disney cruise ship. I'll have to go back and look it up. I did do a video of the whole Marvel at Sea experience, which includes a pretty spectacular end of the cruise show with fireworks outside. But it was right after the shutdown. And so mask, I could only see Captain America from like 40 feet away. It wasn't too cool. So I'm tempted. Do I try it again? I don't know. If you're interested in this, the 5-night Bahamian cruises will be January the 27th, February the 10th, February the 24th, March the 10th. The 5-night Western Caribbean cruises, February the 1st, February the 15th, March the 1st, and March the 15th. 2025. Look, I did see Dune 2 yesterday at the theater. What an epic movie, but it was a treat because the very first preview for that movie was the new Deadpool and Wolverine. I think this was called Deadpool and Wolverine. It's going to be the first Deadpool movie that is under the Disney umbrella, a rated R movie. Watch out, Disney. But yeah, it's getting me excited again. I think because of that preview, I need to go watch the Loki TV series. But I just want to say this about Dune 2. It lived up to the hype. This is a amazing visual movie. Try to watch Dune 1. You got to watch Dune 1 or it's not going to make sense. Dune 1, it's on HBO Max now. I got through that last week. I went to Dune 2 because my son was like, I can't believe you haven't seen Dune 2 yet. What kind of nerd are you? And it was great. My only beef with Dune 2 was the casting of the Emperor. Christopher Walken. And all I could only hear two things. Like, he shows up in this epic scene and I feel like he just was going, wow. And then the other thing is I just kept waiting for him to ask for more cowbell, which seemed very out of sorts in the Paul Atreides story of Dune 2. But yeah, good movie. If you like sci-fi, it was good. It was really good. I don't know. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything. All right. Let's talk about this change, this unexpected change that I didn't see coming, but it could be better. I'll tell you all about it. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way, I got to do this. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Thank you in advance. It doesn't cost anything. It just allows YouTube to notify you when a new show comes out. It certainly helps spread the show. So, spread the show. Thank you in advance. Okay, I've been watching a lot of video coming off of the Sun Princess, and it looks cool. It's a whole different vibe. And, International Cafe, instead of being on the lowest deck of the piazza, the atrium, it's now up on deck 9, like 4 decks up. And it's right next to the Jimmy Buffett, the buffet. And you know what they did on the buffet on the Sun Princess? They don't let you touch the food. The buffet on the Sun Princess is crew served. And I think that may be the first Princess cruise ship that is crew served. Now we know that high-end line Oceania does it. Other cruise lines, Holland America does crew served. And I thought that most people that like to go to the buffet, I don't think they liked crew served as much as they liked self-serve. So I ran a poll over in the La Lita Loca community tab here on YouTube. 57% of you guys said that you like the crew served buffet better than the self-serve buffet. 39%. 4 people said they don't eat the buffet. I love putting that option there because I just want to see, like, Lovey and I, we don't eat the buffet. That's for the simpletons that like to go and... No, I'm just kidding. Some people don't like the buffet. I get it. 6,200 of you voted on that poll. 57% prefer the crew served buffet. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's better. What do you prefer, crew served or self-served? And look, if you haven't seen it, check out my Marvel Day at Sea. That's going to be the recommended video. I'll leave it linked in the pinned comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you have a good weekend. I'll be back again with news on Monday. This is Tony for La Lita Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.